He's gone. He's gone. It's okay. He's not there anymore. All right. No, that's enough. Damn lantern flies. Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. My name is Tori if you're new here. I am holding this sweet baby boy of mine. We've had him for a week and we are so overjoyed. Thank you so much for the support on last video. We had a visit from what I could tell was a turkey vulture, and it made that rooster go nuts. It landed on the coop, shook it a little bit, and flew off, realizing there was nothing dead in there that he could attack. But I'm starting my morning strong with some eggs and some fresh produce, and I'm going to make some pesto croutons with some old bread. But here is balance. We have all of the great ingredients when it comes to food, and then on a paper plate that is postpartum life with 4 children, and we are loving every second. I am out here in the garden now. We are watering, getting some cucumbers taken care of that have some disease on them, and we are going to move on quickly with our day. We like to spend a lot of time outdoors, but the peak day of sunshine is not the best for a newborn, so we go out early morning and most of the evening. I like to sit and get the sun on our skin and really just enjoy this part of this postpartum period, soaking it all in and taking it easy. I'd say this has always been a really big reflection period for me as a mother. I remember with our first child, we brought him home in a snowstorm in October in Colorado, and we lost power, and I'd like to say that's really where my preparedness journey began. So I was very excited to come home to a package from Oolong. Thank you, big shout out to them. They sent over these battery operated sconces, and while they're decorative, I am loving that I can pop these on really anywhere whenever we lose power, which is a lot more frequent than we originally remembered. We are from Pennsylvania, moved to Colorado, and then moved back to Pennsylvania. So just experiencing some things that we experienced as children, as adults with our own children, is a little tricky. And we're remembering, bringing out all the candles when we were little and the flashlights and having, soup on the wood stove to heat it up and things like that. So we, of course, can do all of that, but it's 2025 and it is nice to have something that is decorative, but also can be used in any emergency situation. So I often get questions about that, like what can I do to have things in my home that are a preparedness gadget, but I want them to look nice, or I want something to have dual purpose, or I want it to be easily concealed. And I feel like this checks all the boxes. As you can see, it just charges here, and I'm charging it on that shelf that I got with USB, and then you can just plug it right into those sconces. We've had ours on all night for 3 days now, and it has no sign of dead battery, so that's great. So as you can see, that piece that I plugged into the back, the smaller piece, they just screw into the wall, and then you can slide the sconce over top of it and then go from there. I suggest taking the sconce off and then unscrewing the light bulb so you're not fiddling with the wall. But as you can see, sorry if that flash bothered your brain, as you can see, it changes different colors, and we use the red light at night. It's perfect for a newborn, and you all know that I'm trying to add some warmth to this home. So my favorite color is going to be that warm light, but there's cool light as well. So I will have everything linked for you in the description box, and it does come in a pack of 2. There are different styles. So moving on with the day, really just trying to stay on our budget with the $150 per week, and I switch it up. It depends where the sale is. This week was Walmart. I did have to pay a delivery and tip, but it was included in the $150. I would have much rather spent that on food, but once again, we're in postpartum life right now, and this is what we're doing. So as you can see, I got quite a variety this week. I was trying to keep my husband in mind. He will be here for a bit to help out with all the things, right? So moving down the line, we just needed random items, and we were very lucky to be gifted some produce from my in-laws. So that was really nice to have. And really, name of the game here is easy snacks. And I really was trying to keep my budget in mind, but also I was also trying to keep the kids' preferences in mind. So they do like to snack on fruit, and I try and include a fiber, a protein, and a healthy fat in most of our meals, and that usually gets checked off, but I also like to bulk up on the protein, which makes me bulk up on the fiber. So sometimes I go a little overboard. I saw these Lesser Evil Lil Puffs, and I thought they were cute. I figured the kids would like them. I think they were on sale for $1.99, and that's why I picked them up. As you can see, this isn't focusing. The ingredients are long, but I noticed it was just the coloring. So there's no artificial coloring. It was just typing out what it's colored with. So beets and carrots, different veggies and fruits, the classics. And I noticed that cheese was on sale, so I stocked up. I didn't know Walmart had the 24-ounce cheese for under $4, and I did notice this pork was on sale. My husband liked it before, and it was under $5. So whenever a protein is under $5, I try and snag it, but I'm not a huge fan of some of these pre-made proteins just because there's a lot of additives. So I did get him some cookies, some apple juice. We got some heavy whipping cream so I could make some butter, and I also wanted to make some whipped cream or Cool Whip. And then my Walmart usually has the Good Culture cottage cheese, which is really nice, and they have the full fat version. Part of this $150, I included the wipes. I included some clothing for myself just because postpartum, you never know what's going to happen, and I decided that I just needed a few easy ones, and the thrift store isn't always a guarantee. So I got some shift dresses, just the classic leggings, and some tank tops, and then I did get a shoe rack. I noticed that all of our chicken boots are just going everywhere. So this week I was giving myself a break. I didn't want to put too much pressure on myself for a meal plan, so no meal plan this week, sorry. Hey friends, I am attempting to sneak out here and harvest some things from the garden, all in this postpartum little daydream I'm in. I swear I don't know what time or day it is, but there's quite a bit that needs tending to. The baby is with my husband. I'm gonna try and get to as much as possible, but the girls are hot. I've changed their water out twice today. I know, I don't know what to do, you guys. I'll show you them in a second. I know, it's hot. The girls are like, are you kidding me? Look at that pool. I changed it out 3 days ago, and there's so much algae in it. I'm curious, the kids have been coming out and feeding the ducks some greens, and I'm wondering if that is truly the cause of it, because I am not doing anything too differently, so I'm gonna have to clean that out. But yeah, everything's looking good. We have our little Dr. Seuss raspberry tree here, sunflowers, but honestly, it's really this area that's bothering me. A lot of the cucumbers, some of the viners here have some disease on them, and I'm concerned it's going to affect the butternut squashes coming in. There's like a bunch coming in, which is awesome, but at the same time, I want them to thrive. And the pickling cucumbers, of course, got bigger than a pickle size, which is Wendy. She inserts herself anytime she can. Every time there's a lull in the conversation, it's all about her. Anyways, I think if I harvest them now, we'll be okay. But yeah, this is what the fall garden's looking like. We have some beets coming in. I will thin them out and then move them, and hopefully we'll be okay. Some Blue Lake bush beans. We have some arugula, regular greens, and sweet pea. Then I saw a tomato, so we don't need too much, but a lot of the herbs could use a haircut. There's some lima beans in there that could use maybe a week or two. But look at the marigolds. So pretty, so tall. And the corn's looking good. The watermelon are flowering. I'm losing my voice apparently. We have some turnips in here. And the tomatoes looking tall and fabulous. I'm going to take that blushing one right there because it's starting to split and I don't want it to be totally ruined. But yeah, like I said, a lot of the herbs are what need my attention. The comfrey leaf, I'm going to just give a good cut and put it on the drying rack. Same thing with my lemon balm. Definitely basil, some pineapple sage. But yeah, I think it will look good. I'm going to take the nasturtium too. The zinnias we've been taking to do some fresh bouquets. So yay. Oh my gosh, first pumpkin. I'm so excited. I didn't know it was there. But yeah, we have a lot of cucumber literally hanging on by a thread. So I'm going to snap that. But it's so pretty. I should take a picture first. And here's the fanciest setup you'll ever see on the internet. I often get asked how I do my herbs, how I dehydrate them, how I freeze dry them. I don't. I put them in this handy dandy drying rack and hang them up. And that's the best drying method I have found. And I've noticed that if I dehydrate them, you know, the medicinal use of them is an issue. And if I freeze dry them, which I don't have a freeze dryer, I feel like that would just be using more power and it's expensive, and this does a better job. So that first plant was lavender. Lavender has so many medicinal uses. And then this next plant is comfrey. So comfrey is great for skin health and wound healing and just makes great tea for postpartum. I have some rosemary in here, which you can use for just about anything. I use rosemary to cook with, so I don't really have too many medicinal uses for rosemary, but there is a bunch. I have basil here that I'm drying, and I like to make a big Italian seasoning day of it and use that for the year for all of my spice needs. And then of course I have lemon balm, which I drink lemon balm tea probably every other day, and that is going to do it for today's video. I know it was a little random day in the life, but I appreciate you dealing with this abundance with me. I am so overjoyed to have all of this in this season of life, and I'm so happy to share these little bits and pieces of my day with you. So I appreciate you, and I will catch you on the next one.